from undisclosed locations for reasons of security and insecurity, we present to you MnRTV live show. And tonight we'll be talking about the dangers of Ouija boards and Illuminati Satanic rituals. And tonight it's going to be a very special show because we've got a lot of information about Ouija boards. Since Halloween is coming, a lot of people want to talk about it. But without any further ado, let me introduce to you the one and the only, the coffee man himself, the madman from Montreal, the one, the only, the madman, Mario. How are you, man?
Robert, it's good to be on. I know we're half an hour later. I'm sorry, people. We didn't mean this. We tried to be on time, but you know how it is. Google does give us problems. So now all you have to do is, yeah, like Robert's saying, refresh. Now, you could be doing other things like going out, shopping for Halloween, but it's better you're with us where it counts most, right?
Right. R-E-S-C-H.
Okay. So now this is who I am. We're going to start the show. We're not going to go in. We're just going to, we won't go through the chase. We'll just go right in and dig right into the show. How about that? So this is me. This is who I am. And let us commence. Right, Rob?
And this show has been brought to you by the Montreal Anti-Illuminati Task Force in collaborations with 12160.info, destroying the New World Order. And that's what we want to do eventually. So how's been your week?
My week has been great, except for now that we had a little problems, but it's all okay. So now let us commence. Let's start the show. So this is it. This is 12160, Robert's blog. This is what it's all about. You know, you should all know it by now, but for the newbies. So this is where you click play to watch our show. And then you got Chitango right there. The folks out at 12160, you're the greatest for always, you know, letting us access to this wonderful site. We can't forget about you guys, right?
That's right, we can't, and it's going to be a great show tonight. We've got a lot of information, and I think Google is trying to stop this show because all kinds of problems with the laptop, with the desktop, and it keeps saying a server error. But as you know, we've gotten information that they're trying to shut us down, aren't they?
Yes, but they can't stop us because we're here. We got to give out the information. So then we got the MnR Productions Mariolaur blogspot.ca. Here it is, the same concept as 12160. Only here you got the dates from when we started up until now. You see you got the video. Just click play. If you don't see it, just refresh as usual. You always keep refreshing. Well, once you get us, you need to refresh. And then you got the one and only Chitango again. And you see there's all kinds of people on it. Thank you, people, for being understanding and being patient with us. Okay, so now these are the pictures, the most spoken about pictures on the Conspiracy Talk. Shall we start, Rob? Now this week I didn't post this up because I told you we were going to get you a surprise, right? And this look at this. You see what I see?
I see The Walking Dead. I see Ouija.
Yeah, right underneath a store in a mall somewhere downtown. This is what they had, the Ouija board on display. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? They wanna like tell people, yeah, it's cool to play. Keep playing it. This is the New Age people, right? The New Age group people.
You mean this is downtown Montreal?
Yeah, I seen it yesterday, today. It was on display. You see, I guess it's for Halloween, and because if you notice, all the games right next to it is all Halloween stuff and Walking Dead and this and that.
I see it, my friend. It's not good. It's not good playing the Ouija board. There's a lot of problems that could come out of it. Trust me. I should know it, but we'll get into that later on.
Anyways, I thought I'd put this on because this has to do with the show, and I said, you know what, might as well just post it. So it's out there. You find it anywhere in the store. But we'll get into the details with that. Next, the money. This is what everybody likes, you know? This is what everybody's been talking about in the Conspiracy Talk, both Conspiracy Talks. You see that? We got a lot of people liking it, like over, I think it was 20 people. So I said, let me feature it.
Why was JFK killed?
So there you go. I mean, and we don't have to read it. It's straightforward.
Yeah.
He didn't want to have taxes, no tax, no income tax, no tax whatsoever, no inflation.
No national debt. He didn't want all of that.
So that's why they killed him, because, you know, he didn't want to enslave people like we are now. We're enslaved. Next, this one. This I think we had like 41 likes.
The vaccines. If you are mixed mercury, aluminum phosphate, aluminum sulfate, and formaldehyde with viruses, then get syringe and inject into your child, you will be arrested and sent to jail for child endangerment and abuse. Then why is it legal for a doctor to do it? And why would you do it then? Why would you let them do it? Educate yourself. Sometimes I wonder what doctors are all about, eh? If you go to the doctor once, it never solves the problem. Like when I was young, I used to go to the doctor once. Okay, it would solve the problem. Now you have to go 3-4 times, and it still doesn't. And then my freaking anxiety goes up. Nothing ever gets solved with these freaking doctors. Anyhow, next article.
Yeah, the bottom line is don't get vaccinated. That's the bottom line. The other thing, the other picture that everybody has been talking about is this one. How did Hitler get over 6 million people to follow along bundling? You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Finally, then I realized I'm watching my fellow Americans take the same path. Yeah, with Obama.
Yeah, so that's another picture. The other picture is this one, getting back to the doctors being what they are, you know.
If you believe pharmaceutical companies are on your side, remember this. You staying sick is what keeps them in business, which is true. Every time I go to the freaking doctor, nothing ever gets solved. I go back and I'm still sick, and the worst of it is I don't know if I'll get cured, and my anxiety goes up. My anxiety goes up, I get more sick, and then what do I want to do? Nothing ever gets solved.
Yeah, it's all a game. It's all a scam.
At least if instead of making you go twice, they make you go once, but you pay double, and then you're cured. Okay, you don't get the anxieties of it, you know.
But let's look at this picture now. If everybody would be like these people, there wouldn't be no doctors nor no pharmaceutical companies. I bet you these guys, they alter their DNAs. That's why they're so, look at them. They're like 100 years old and they're all happy.
They're okay, and only one of them, yeah, only one of them has freaking glasses and has no fucking eyesight problems, and that's what's getting to me, because these are the elites right there, and these are the people that I want to take and I want to squeeze the living daylights out of them and tell them,
Robert, get a grip. It's not worth it getting angry over these guys. Get a grip.
The Illuminati right there. Right there. I want to squeeze them.
Speaking of Illuminati.
The awkward moment when you realize that Anonymous is just another fake government-controlled movement. Yes, I know. They are fake. We knew from the start that the Anonymous is fake. It's just government CIA PSYOP program. That's what they are. I knew it from the start. That's why I never trusted them. Look at the picture they put. And the next one right here, Ouija. Keep telling yourself it's just a game. Yeah, right. It's not just a game.
And that's what inspired us to do this show. Right?
Exactly. Exactly, my friend, because I played the game. I've played the Ouija board game. It's not, and you know, and right now I will not play it now because I'm sure it'd be worse. And this right here, $10,000 bill, Hell Satan. Now the thing I have the problem with, does it actually say Hell Satan, or is it just propaganda, or is it that just 10,000? Not many people have $10,000 bill, so they can't really verify it. What's the deal on this?
I don't know, but I put it up on the Conspiracy Talk, and nobody is giving us a straight answer because, like you said, nobody does have that $10,000 bill. It's very rare to get. I don't know. I Googled it. Nobody can find it. I don't know if this is true or not true, but why would they do such a thing like this? Why waste people's times?
Because the thing is, $10,000. If I had $10,000, I would not keep it in one bill. Can you imagine having a $10,000 bill and it gets stolen? You know, who would carry a $10,000 bill? So I don't know if it's just Hell Satan or whatever it says, but if it does, it's very sick.
But you know what I think? I honestly think that all money is held by Satan. All money is probably saying, "Hail Satan." We just don't see it, but it's there. It's evil. Money is evil. It's I don't know, man. It's the root of all evil, anyhow. And I'm sure he does want this to be written on the money indirectly, even if we don't see it. That's how I see it. But
Man,
those
that could be.
are the pictures of the week.
All right, and now getting on to the next, what's the next subject right here? The Conspiracy Talk, the greatest website on conspiracies on Facebook right now, the Conspiracy Talk.
Yes, this is what it's all about. This is it, but we won't go into too much detail because people know what it's about, and this is where Robert
120 new
posts.
members. 120 new members. Isn't that
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of members that keep popping up, but we have to watch it because there's a lot of people that want to spam and scam. So this is it. This is where Robert posts the link for today's show. You should all be able to see it by now, and all
yeah,
kinds
what a picture.
and all kinds of people keep posting, and you're all welcome, but no spammers. Like I keep repeating you, like just the other time, we had to get rid of people that are posting up sunglasses and that, but that's what happens. And you have something that's rocking, right? Like this thing, it's rocking. That's what happens. They want to take it down by trolling and spamming on it, but it's okay because we're there. We take care of it.
But we have to, this afternoon I had to get rid of someone.
All the
And I
time.
put that thing about this something, and I just got, and I just got rid of them.
Okay, so now we shall commence with the news.
Yeah.
Okay, the first thing I found, and this I had to post last week, but we had so much information I couldn't post last week. But I like this piece of news work over here, and it's from this site. And
strategicculture.org. Obama's war on Ebola.
you see
War
it
for oil. Yeah, sending 3,000 troops to African Ebola areas that happen to export oil to China. It's all about oil and diamonds, and people scaring people with Ebola. I mean, we never heard of it. Well, I heard of Ebola before. I was in Africa, but all of a sudden there's like a widespread. And what does the government do? They send people that are sick with Ebola to the States to cure them there. Like, what the heck is all that about?
Just keep saying to yourself, it's all a lie, Everything is a lie. But anyways, there's not much. I mean, by now we all know. I'm just scrolling down on this, but by now we should all know that everything is, things under control. We don't hear much about Ebola, right?
Well, for the last 3 days, no.
And ISIS, what's going on?
Who ISIS? Well, I don't know. I haven't been following much of the news, but to tell you the truth, I've gotten fed up with things about Ebola and ISIS every damn minute, trying to scare people. We have enough problems in the world that we don't need this.
Anyways, that's it for that piece of news goodie, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The next piece of news information that we're going to be sharing is popping up pretty soon, and it's right now. And I don't know if this is true, even though I like the name of it, worldtruth.tv, TV. And this is what it says.
DHS agent reveals U.S. to collapse within 6 weeks. Well, the thing is, I got information that the U.S. is going to collapse in November. Give or take, I'm not going to give the name of the person that said it, but somebody pretty up that knows well about the Illuminati. So I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But we've been hearing about it since 2010, I mean, I remember in 2010, that's when I bought a whole bunch of clothes because I heard that everything's going to collapse. I said, I better get myself a lot of jeans and a lot of clothes because it's going to happen. So I better have clothes on hand in case I become poor. But so far, nothing's happened. But I've got information that's going to happen in November. And I think you know who I mean, Mario.
Yeah. I know who you
person's name.
We won't say the person's name, but more or less, you heard it from here. You heard it from here today, on this day. You heard it. That's my
Exactly.
point. You know, I mean, we won't get too much into that, but because we don't want to fear people, you know, we're not
No,
here to fear people. We're here to talk about what we know and you know, pretty much the truth of it all, right? So
I
now
know.
the next thing, Rob, another thing that's freaking me out, and it's freaky when you think about it. This one, FEMA.
North Carolina's homeless hauled to FEMA camps and forced to have RFID chips.
So it's starting. The
It's
future is
funny.
here.
You're gonna have the homeless people forced to to FEMA camps and have FRID chips, the mark of the beast. It's coming right now, and it's right there, and it's in North Carolina, and that is like shocking news that people are gonna be forced to have this. They're gonna be saying, "Oh, it's to watch the people, the homeless, and everything," but it's just a plan. It's just a plot to get us all to be chipped.
They're starting by telling us that it sounds good and it's good for you, but it's not. Don't believe that. Now, I don't know if you want to look, if we should bother looking at this article, but we should all know by now what this is all about.
Well, yeah.
I mean, you know, there's a good video here. By the way, all these links you're seeing, they will appear in the description.
That we posted up in the description after the show is recorded. That's for sure, you know. Yeah. It will be recorded, and
They
yeah,
can't
that's
take
it.
that away from us.
No, hopefully not. I mean, there's a lot that they're taking away from, but not that.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about what they're wasting their money on, and it's this. Now you're probably saying, what the hell? What is this about?
Startup wants to raise 1.8 million to build giant fighting robots.
Why? Why? They're probably building these fighting robots so that they can kill us off. Kind of like Terminator. Terminator. I am
Exactly.
Terminator.
And yeah, exactly. I'm not going to read all of this, but people can get the idea that it costs $1.8 million to have these fighting robots, and you can see the
What's
robots right there.
what's the point? You know, I mean, what? There's going to be like Armageddon with robots.
But you heard what happened, eh? Yesterday, a rocket blew up from NASA.
Yes, we're getting to that, Rob. We're getting to that. It's
Okay.
coming. So that's it with
Off
the
the ball and
robots.
on the run, on the go, you know. But look at that, 15-foot tall, 15,000-pound piloted robots.
Now you said about the yeah, that's very tall. Now you said about the rocket. Look at this. You read my mind. You're way ahead of the game, because that's the next newspaper bit I was gonna actually post up, and you just brought it out.
Without actually knowing, yeah.
You,
Manned rocket bound for space station explodes. An unmanned cargo rocket carrying supplies to the International Space Station exploded seconds after liftoff Tuesday. People said uselessness like this. Why don't they give the $1 million to people that are homeless and that are sick, that can't afford health, or that are living on the streets, instead of spending it on nonsense that explodes? That's the government for you.
but it's normal, Rob, that they won't spend it on money, and I
Instead of helping
mean
everybody.
they won't, because we're not important. People don't realize that.
But no, but what do? They scare people with ISIS all the time. A CIA created U.S. government project, ISIS. It's unreal. Instead of curing people, they spend their money on nonsense. They scare, fear factor with ISIS and brainwash people, and then they bring in this Ebola. It's just unreal.
Yeah, I know. It's but we cannot freak out over it because it's not worth it. You know, we just can't. Now we're going to be moving on to. Oh boy, hold on. Okay.
I got it. Yeah, I had it before. You had it. UFOs are real. Top Area 51 scientists revealed in deathbed video 18 aliens work for U.S. government. I'd love to see these aliens and talk with them. Let's see from
Rob, there is a video here, and I've seen it. It's very spectacular, the video, and he does show all the aliens pictures of them. And this is the article. The poor man that did the video, well, the one that we seen here in the video, he did pass away August 7th, I think, of last year.
And he has a 40-year career in this.
It's worth watching, people. Watch this because it does say the truth. You know.
And do they say what kind of aliens? If there were Anunnakis, reptilians, the Nordics?
Well, that people have to watch the video, but I'll tell you something. It wasn't. It was greys.
Yeah.
It was greys, Rob. It was greys. It was greys. I'll tell you this much. It was nothing but greys.
The most popular ones we have, the gray aliens.
Anyways, just look into it. It's worth watching. I was pretty astonishing when I watched this video right here. It's 32 minutes long. Watch it after you watch our show, of course.
Obviously, yes.
And we can't play it now because
Google won't allow it, because then they won't get recorded the show.
There's a lot of things Google won't allow, but it's okay as long as they allow something. The next piece of newspaper bit, or news bit I should say, not newspaper, but because we see a newspaper right there.
Author investigates 200-year-old UFO sighting. Almost 200 years ago, Morgan country farmer Thomas Ian was walking home from Philo when he had what one researcher believes could be one of the earliest accounts of a close encounter of the third kind. The blazing object flickered and flared for a few moments and then faded into darkness as a man dressed in a complete suit of black and carrying a lantern emerged from it. The man walked a few paces and stepped into a buggy. There was no horse attached to this supernatural vehicle, but no sooner had the man taken his seat when it started to run noiselessly but when great velocity along the highway with buggy man and lantern suddenly disappeared as mysterious as they came. And this was from 1873, April 5th. Pretty astonishing when you ask me.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that happen, that are still happening, that are going on. It never ends. And that's why we're posting it on here, because you don't see this posted on anywhere else, you know? You have to go to our show to watch that. The next piece of goodie that I found, because there's a whole bunch, but actually there's another couple more because I know Trish wants to come on. And she's like, what's happening? But it's okay because she'll be coming on soon. And now we're talking about Bigfoot.
Bigfoot evidence and sightings 2014. Hunter seeks to shoot and kill Bigfoot.
And there is Bigfoot.
Right there. Not something you want to see.
Why would they want him hunted down? Now that's the trick question of the day. Why would they want him dead?
Convinced that legendary tales about the existence of Bigfoot are true, the Gulf Coast Bigfoot Research Organization is on a mission to find and kill an adult male Sasquatch for scientific study. That's not good, though. They want to kill it.
Yeah, we don't even know. First of all, we have to find it. Why do they want him alive?
Pardon?
Why do they want him dead? Why don't they want him alive? Like, why? You know?
That's my question.
Anyhow, I guess that's it for that.
Bigfoot, it's like we don't know. Is it a hybrid? Is it an alien? Is it an interstellar dimensional being? We just don't know.
Will we ever know?
Well, I'm sure one day we will.
Now the next one before Trish comes on.
It's InfoWars, Alex Jones. Now what is this?
That's the question. Why does he? I got an email a while back. Why is he giving us this? What is this?
DNA Force. You mean I could take this?
I don't know what this is, Rob. That's the question. Did anybody get this email from?
Well, I get better. It's system enzymes. How much? $124. Did you talk about that we need to alter our DNA so that we don't get sick, we get healthy?
Well, that's what I spoke about before.
DNA Force is an advanced formula designed to help energize.
Hold on, Rob. Let me focus because
Yeah,
you see it now.
I see it a bit. You know, I have eye problems.
Mm-hmm.
To energize mitochondrial functions and sustain healthy cell cycles. It may also help regenerate the body's natural intracellular and antioxidants. Very interesting.
Look who invented it and what it does. Look at this. You see, it says it all here. I tried to make it, but I can't. So
should we buy this thing?
I don't know. Does anybody know if it's credible?
Yeah, is it feasible to buy, or is it going to make us more sick?
I don't know. Anybody out there, please leave a comment. Should we buy it? Should we trust it? That's my question to anybody, and I will post it again. I will post it in the description, a link, so people can, you know, check it out for themselves and let us know, because there's a lot of stuff that's true and not true out there.
Yeah, we need to know what's true and what's not true, what the heck's going on, you know?
So that's it for the news. Now we're going to be talking and getting inside the topic.
Well, first we're going to go on the break, right?
Yes, and I think we do deserve a break after what we've been through, right?
Yeah, a Kit Kat break we need.
Yeah, from Google.
Yeah, they're keeping us half an hour from doing this show. So yeah, so is Trish on?
Trish is bothering me. She wants to come on. She's dying to come on. And here is Trish, so people don't go anywhere.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Little break.
Don't go too far, okay? Hold on.
What is a Ouija board? Today it's a paranormal communication device currently marketed and sold by the game company Hasbro as a board game. Historically, it is method used to talk with the dead, having its roots in automatic writing. This form of automatic writing would start over 900 years ago in China. The modern Ouija uses a board with letters to spell out words. Yes, no for direct questions and even numbers. It uses a planchette device. The pointer is shaped like an upside-down heart to communicate. The modern board also has a dark reputation of causing negativity for those who use it. It has been linked with possession, violence, and even death. However, how much of that is true, and how much is like paranoia? Much of the fear of the board seems to resonate from the movie The Exorcist, the story of a young girl being possessed by a demon. The movie hints that the possession was caused by a girl taking the drug Ritalin and using the Ouija board alone. The movie itself was fiction, however, is based on a true story, and even though it's unknown if the real rig in the movie is based on even used Ouija, the belief still remains. I'm not trying to say the Ouija is without danger, because that would be an untrue statement. It can cause you problems of a spiritual nature. In my years of experience and study with the board, starting over a decade ago in 1997, the worst and proven cases fall into the category of invitation and possession. Invitation is the inviting of negative forces into your space. This will cause places you were once comfortable in to become uncomfortable and cause you nervous stress. Nobody knows for sure what this energy is, whether you call it a ghost or a demon, just that it can be strong and invasive and can ruin your day. It could be a buildup of negative energy from the outside or the other side, or even a buildup of living energy from the participants of the Ouija session. Either way, it is a real danger with the use of the Ouija board. Possession, no, not what you're thinking. I don't mean the possession that happened to poor Regan in the movie The Exorcist, but instead a conflict of energies. This is where that same outside negative energy invited in by the Ouija doesn't focus on the surrounding space, but instead the energy of the team themselves. It could be that some of this outside energy has a magnetic effect with certain people, depending on the energy they carry. Vulnerable, sad and angry people seem to be affected the most, and on one occasion I was witness to a specific gender and age group, living young girls affected by the energy of an angry young girl's spirit. The worst of these situations does not include pea soup, a spinning head, or death, but instead slight sickness. All of the possessed have felt for a small period of time after the session was over. The affected might vomit, and then when getting away from the session, the feelings will dissipate and pass. The Ouija board is not, in this man's opinion, a tool of the devil, but instead a communication device that has its roots in the most ancient methods of energy manipulation, for better understanding of the other side, and the unseen energies that surround us.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Trish. What could we do without you? You know, we really need you around. Just like Robert now, wherever he may be. He's having his little problems again. I don't know where Robert is. I hope he comes back soon. He should be here, hopefully. Rob. Oh, great. He just keeps coming on and off again. I don't know why this is happening. We were having problems with this all night before. Now we're having problems again with it now, which, you know, it's a hard, long night for us here at the MnRTV live show. It's not easy, but we're trying. You know, I don't know why he keeps getting knocked off like this all the time. He was on before and now he's off. So you know what, while we're waiting for him to come back, I know exactly what to do. Give the stage to you, the people, until he comes back, and show you this, exactly what is going on inside the Chatango, because this is what people like. Robert, are you back?
Yeah, I don't know what the heck's wrong with it, man. It's like I just pressed a button to turn off the camera while to go on break, you know, and this is what happened. It just knocked me out again.
Just whatever you do, don't touch your computer.
No, I don't want to touch anything, damn it. No, in fact, I want to touch my computer. I want to take both computers and smash it, and just take off and go live in the woods, you know. Build a log cabin, get rid of the cell phone, get rid of the computer, you know.
No more contracts, because we're living on contracts. You realize that, eh?
What do you mean on contracts?
Well, whatever we do nowadays is always contracts. We have to sign contracts for everything. Credit cards, computers, cell phones, television.
Yeah, exactly.
Cars. Yeah. It's always contracts. But anyways, let's commence the show. I think people are, you know,
wanting to know. All right, so now here we have it right here, folks. Okay, are you able to put it?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to be waiting because all I see is Illuminati for Dummies 3. People hospitalized after getting possessed by the Ouija boards. Now, I don't know, Mary, what you know about a Ouija board, but I've played it, and I can tell you that my ex-girlfriend became a drunk. She started drinking a lot and everything, almost an alcoholic, almost. Thank God she stopped. I was back 14 years ago, and one of my best friends became a drug addict after playing the Ouija board a couple of years later. I mean, a couple of months later, he became like that, so it's not very good, the Ouija board.
Yeah, but you realize that you're not talking to the dead. I mean, yeah, you're not talking to the dead, you're actually talking to demons, but we will investigate further into this matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly, and here, all right.
But Ouija, wait, Rob, before we go, Ouija means we in French is yes, and ja in Germany means yeah, so yes. So that's what Ouija means. I don't know if we have any articles that say otherwise.
I don't know about that, but oui, monsieur. Three family members hospitalized after playing Ouija boards. Was just the three overexcited people convincing themselves that they were being possessed or real spirits. 3 American friends have been taken to hospital after reportedly becoming possessed by evil spirits while playing a Ouija board. Alexandra Rita, 22, was playing the game with her brother Sergio, 22, and 18-year-old cousin Fernando Cuves at a house in the village of San Juan in southwest Mexico. But minutes after into it, she apparently started growling and thrashing around in a trance-like state. Meanwhile, Sergio and Fernando also reportedly started showing signs of possession, including feelings of blindness, deafness, and hallucinations. Paramedics were called to the house and took the trio to the hospital, according to Alexandra's parents. They restrained Alexandra to prevent her from hurting herself before treating the three with painkillers, anti-stress medications, and eye drops, of all things, which seemingly worked. They had involuntary movements, and it was difficult to transfer them to the nearest hospital because they were so erratic. It appeared as if they were in a trance-like state, and apparently after playing the Ouija board. They spoke of feeling numbness, double vision, blindness, deafness, hallucination, muscle spasms, and difficulty swallowing. He added that whether the trio were possessed or had simply convinced themselves that they were was not for doctors to comment on. And you know, folks, that the mind can play a lot of stuff. If you think you're sick about something and you see a symptom, your mind can convince you so much that you actually are thinking that you are. It's the symptoms going to cause it when you're actually not.
Yeah, well, look here. The mind is telling you, oh, it's really someone that I knew that passed away, but really it's not. So there's the mind that keeps, the mind isn't cool, man.
In fact, someone told me my mind is so powerful that I could make myself sick just by thinking of it. If I could somehow reverse it, I could cause good things. So that's what I'm going to have to try to do. Reverse my mind. Everything that I think bad, just reverse it and think good. As insane as it sounds like. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you gotta do that, I would think. It's a good idea.
It's hard to do, though. Yeah, so that's it. So I've seen videos where people have played the Ouija boards and on YouTube, and they were actually possessed. They ended up in the hospital. They were on a gurney after playing the Ouija board.
We can't trust these games. We don't even know why the hell they're out there. They're not good. Stay away from them. They're as evil as Halloween.
The occult, right there. What is the Ouija board? Okay. Ouija board came into existence as a parlor game in the mid-1800s when spiritualism and channeling were at the height of fashion. The word Ouija is a... Yes! I got the article for you, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Rob, the only thing that's slowing you down right now, today, at this moment, is Google. They're the only thing that's stopping you, but you're on the ball tonight.
Amongst other things that are stopping me. Adolphus Theodor Wagner first patented Ouija boards. Ouija boards, sometimes referred to as talking boards, in London, England, in January 23rd, 1854. In the patent, Wagner called his inventions a psychograph, and its purpose was to read the minds of people with nervous energy. By 1861, Frenchman Allan Kardec was describing the Ouija board as instruments which had to open communications within the spirit world. In 7 short years, the Ouija board has evolved from a mind reader to portal of communications with the dead. Modern Ouija boards were developed by inventor William Flood. Flood sold his patent to Parker Brothers in 1966. Ouija boards, as we recognize them today, look nothing like the original prototypes. The 20-25 million Ouija boards sold by Parker Brothers consists of a rectangular game board that is covered with a woodcut style alphabet, the words yes and no, and goodbye, and the numbers 0 to 9, and includes the game, is a heart-shaped plastic planchette. The planchette is the pointer that is supposed to glide over the board under the direction of supernatural forces and form comments and questions by pointing onto questions and comments. Parker Brothers has marketed Ouija boards under the tag name "It's Only a Game," isn't it? Yeah, right.
Do you think the Illuminati play this game and recommend us to play this game?
The Illuminati is neck up in this. They're neck up in this game, right there. I'm telling you, my friend.
The Rothschild probably says, good, keep printing these games, keep selling them. It's a good thing.
Yeah, well, the Rothschild and the 13 that ruled the world, the 13, the 13 bloodlines that ruled the world, the 13 that are responsible for Ebola and ISIS and everything else, Ouija boards and everything else that's going around, that's them, all right? And there's a good video right there. It's very scary. We cannot play the video, unfortunately, but it's something else. Ouija board, the deception. Satan and his demons can use the Ouija board to give advice, or even to guide a person in a certain direction. The guidance may even seem to be true, good, and helpful. Satan and his demons pretend to be caring. They try to appear as something they appear harmless. The Bible says, and no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It's not surprising then if his servants masquerade as servants of righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve. Satan and his demons will do this in order to get a person even more deeply involved in spiritualist practices. Things like the Ouija board appear to be innocent at first, but soon a person finds themselves addicted to guidance from the spirit world, thereby allowing Satan to control and destroy their life. Gosh, I'm only glad I played it once or twice.
Yeah, because you can't play what you don't know. That's the problem. I know a lot of people, oh, you could play it.
Why does God take such a hard line on things like a Ouija board, something that many people view as a game? In Isaiah 8:10, God says, when men tell you to consult mediums and spiritualists who whispers and mutter, should not people inquire of their God? Why consult the dead on behalf of the living? If they do not speak according to this word, they have no light. God points out that we need to come to him for answers because God is omniscient. He knows everything, omnipresent, he's everywhere. He knows everything and he is in control of everything. Asking charlatans and unknown entities for advice can be worse than fruitless. It can be dangerous. God wants us to trust him. Which in effect makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Anyways, like I say, I don't recommend. Don't play this at home. I mean, I bet you other people going out for Halloween, they love playing this game, right?
Well, they make it sound like it's harmless, but have you seen the one, the Ouija board that's pink?
Yeah, I did. We posted up a while ago.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. It's a pink one for little girls to play.
Yeah, they just like doing that. All right, so we've on next. Here's the next one.
By Mason Bilderberg. And there we see a nice reptilian right there.
And a hat man that came and visited me at night.
Oh yes, we can't forget the hat man right there. Ouija board right there. Yes, no.
Goodbye. No, I mean, don't. I'm not saying goodbye to the people viewing. Keep watching.
Yeah, in a nutshell, a Ouija board is a use in a game where people ask questions and hope a ghost will move their hands to find the answer. A Ouija board is a game with letters, numbers, and words yes and no and goodbye printed on it. A tree-like device with a hole in the middle or a pointer of some sort called a planchette is placed on the board. Players put their fingers on the pointer and ask questions that have yes or no answers, or that can be answered with numbers or words spelled out by letters. There are several weird things about this game. The players don't ask each other questions. They ask ghosts to join them and answer the questions. The pointers move under the fingers. The players feel sure that they are not moving it. Try it. It works. Well, here we're not going to go into how it works, obviously, because we don't want to give our viewers, we don't want to encourage our viewers to play this game.
Yeah, because people think it's harmless, but it's very harmful. Just like Halloween, they say it's harmless. It's harmless Halloween. But think about it. You want the dead to come back, and the dead can't come back, unfortunately.
Yeah, like if you think you're talking to your aunt or uncle or dead relatives, you're not. You're just talking to a demon pretending to be, which will mean...
They're good at deceiving and being very deceitful. Don't forget.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's it for this news information. I mean, not news, but art. Goody.
Yeah. It is. I think that's it right now. Hold on 1 second. I'm doing something.
Yeah, it is, Rob. I don't see nothing else being anything in particular about that that, you know, piece of
I see what you mean. All right, next article. If you can put it bigger.
All right, I made it bigger, loud and bigger.
Ouija board causes girls to become possessed by demons. This is a true story that came out yesterday about a few girls who decided to play Ouija boards that allegedly had caused them to become possessed by demons. The girls were from America, but were visiting family members in Mexico where the event occurred. Again, Mexico.
Always Mexico.
And do you see what's on the? Do you see the picture?
Yeah.
Of the Exorcist Reagan? They're selling this doll right here.
Yeah, because Halloween, you know, they like that. They like.
Do you want this doll? Do you want this doll in your house, in your bedroom, Mario?
Are you crazy? What am I gonna do with that?
See, look at those eyes. I remember when I saw The Exorcist when I was 15 years old. I was terrified. I mean, I couldn't sleep that night, and you know, I've watched that movie a couple of times, but you know, it's not something you want to watch all the time. It's not a romantic movie at all.
No, it's pretty sad. Now I don't know, Rob, if you want to get into. There's any information on here that you want to share?
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, they're just talking about the same cousins that we talked about earlier. The previous article that got sick and they were treated with painkillers and eye drops and everything. There's another article right there. The reason I wanted to show you this article is because they're selling a doll like this. Now, don't you think having a doll like that is going to bring in demons or the occult?
Well, you know what? You do fall in love with this person. You do fall always looking at this person. So you know what your mind is saying? That there's nothing wrong with this. This is normal. I want to see it every day. And
but it's ugly.
Opening up.
But it's ugly, though. But it opens up a doorway to it.
People like zombies. Don't you know that we're living in a zombie era?
Well, Mario, for your birthday, it's coming up in a couple of months. I want to buy you this doll. But I guess I won't, right?
Listen, Robert, you should know me by now. I don't like my birthday. I do not like weddings. I do not want to get married. And on top of that, I do not like funerals. I don't even want to go to my own funeral.
Well, that I have to agree with you. I don't want to go to my own funeral, but unfortunately, unless the rapture happens, we will be to our own funeral. And that's one place that you can't have fun. You can't thank the guests at your own funeral. But getting back to this doll, I was gonna actually order it for you because sometimes you said you get lonely and that, but I guess this is too much for you, right?
Rob, you're the fan of this doll. I remember when it came out, you were going crazy. I was like, Mom, what's the matter with this guy? He has nothing else. He doesn't like nothing else but The Exorcist. That's all he talks about, The Exorcist.
That's like 15 years ago, but now I wouldn't want this doll. Just looking at those eyes, it's like imagine sleeping with this doll. I don't know.
Bah. Anyhow, that's enough with dolls, you know, and sleeping at night with a doll like that.
But man, if people in the chat room want to see you with this doll,
I'll get other dolls besides that. But this is a family-oriented show, Robert. You know that by now. Why the hell would
I know.
you bring up dolls?
No, but I said that doll, the Reagan doll, the Exorcist doll. All right, getting
on next.
The serious part of the show. Unfortunately, we have to be serious over here because this is a serious topic. We have to have a little laughter here and there because we go nuts. The Ouija board has been used by thousands of people for spirit communication and is very similar to automatic writing. The only difference between the two being the absence of the board itself is automatic writing. Both forms of communications are very dangerous, as are seances, because they are usually uncontrolled forms of communications. In other words, the individuals that use these channels are usually novices, and are unaware of the possibility dangers that await. A controlled situation would be where a psychic medium or clairvoyant is present. This way, the medium could sense if any dangers are present and close off communications before any harm was done. The Ouija board is just a piece of compressed wood sold at virtually all toy stores and occult supply and bookstores. Ouija is a combination of two words, oui and ja, which means yes in French and German, respectively. The board itself is not dangerous, but the form of communication that you are detecting often is. Most often, the spirits who are contacted through the Ouija board in those homes reside on the lower astral plane. These spirits are often very confused and may have died a violent or sudden death, murder, suicide, etc. Therefore, many violent, negative, and potentially dangerous conditions are present to those using the board. Oftentimes, several spirits will attempt to come through the spirit at the same time, but the real danger lies when you ask for physical proof of their existence. You might say, well, if you're a real spirit, then put out the light or move the object. When you have just done is simple, you have opened a doorway and allowed them to enter the physical world, and future problems that can often do arise. So I would suggest that you guys do this, folks.
No, don't. Please don't. Listen to us. We know what we're talking about. Because Robert played with it. Big mistake.
But yeah, 14 years ago, 2014, I played with it once or twice, but really nothing came out of it. We played like 10, 15 minutes, and that's it, you know. But thank God we only played twice, but it's enough.
Now, I don't know if there's anything else good that's in this.
Other articles that says stuff like Ouija board summon demons. A simple Ouija board becomes a passport to hell for a family that accidentally summoned a demon into the living room. I thought it might have been the devil himself, says John Ravens, father of the tormented family. When it was over, we were all bleeding and had severe burn marks. Our living room was a disaster area. It was supposed to be a joke, says Gloria, the girl's mother, who were going to believe we were talking with the spirit world. Yeah, so we don't want to play with that. It's like an inferno from hell. We don't want to play with Ouija boards. Because it says the family described the demon as red and black with scaly skin and horns. It also had giant bat wings. Then it suddenly swooped down and attacked us, recalls John, horror flickering over his features. It started biting each of us on the face and arms. We tried getting up and running from the door, but every time we did, the creature started clawing. It was so fast we couldn't escape from it.
Notice that there's the pentagrams on there, eh?
Well, yeah, and who used the pentagram besides Satanists, the Illuminati?
All that, you know, it's like, come on, it's crystal clear, man. Why would people want to be messing with this thing?
Within seconds, it spun around the room, overhauled, laughing and cursing at us. It was surrounded by a ring of fire, and the room became so hot it was like an inferno from hell. The family described the demon as red, black, and scaly. Yeah, I said that. Okay, all right. So enough talking about this demon. It's not something we want to really talk about.
But we have to. I mean, even if we don't like it, because it's evil. Evil game played by evil people.
Did you ever play it, Mario?
No, I never did and don't intend on playing because, you know me, I don't like to read, right? I don't like letters. So I will not play it because there's letters on there. I prefer playing snakes and ladders and checkers and chess. It's way more better than a Ouija board. You know?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, for sure, because it's very dangerous to play the Ouija board.
And there's a letter to the readers. I guess this is a device it gives to people.
Yeah, exactly.
A letter from a reader. I mean, oops, a letter from a reader.
Exactly. It just talks about the Ouija board going on and on, how dangerous it is.
Okay, and
was invented in 1873. Because people are asking who it was invented by. In a chat room, Chango. Which we love the Chango. That's like one heck of a chat room.
Here's probably what I was talking about. The suggestion. No?
I am not an expert in Ouija, but do warn people against using this or any means of spirit communication, including seances, automatic writing, etc. This is not a parlor game, nor is it something for anyone to experiment with, as there are many dangers involved. I constantly get calls and emails from people who are absolutely terrified after using the Ouija for my help. Often this comes in the middle of the night and from out of state of adolescence.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember when I was 20 years old, and that's when I was really wild, and we didn't even want to play the Ouija board back then. And then when I was 30, my ex-girlfriend said, "Let's play it." Like, oh yeah, okay, let's play it. And our house was haunted to begin with. And what did I get? What did I get out of a Ouija board playing it? I got sleep paralysis. And for you folks that don't know what sleep paralysis is, you can Google it, and I'm sure that the audience knows what sleep paralysis is. Thank God I don't get sleep paralysis anymore.
No, we don't want that. It's like playing with fire. You know what happens when you play with fire? You get burnt. The next piece of website right here.
Sir, yeah, the next information right here.
The next insert.
Yeah, boy, it's small. You can't make it bigger.
No, because then I can't. I have to swing on over to the other side, and it's like playing a tennis game, back and forth, back and forth. So this is the biggest I could make it. Unfortunately, Rob.
It's not the Ouija board. It's the process of inviting harmful paranormal entities into your homes. There are two schools of thought on the Ouija boards in the paranormal field. One group states emphatically that this is not a dangerous activity. The other school of thought emphatically states that the Ouija board is a dangerous item. We subscribe with the majority in the field with the scores of document incidents that have a common theme. The Ouija board. Personally, we find it amusing that some groups are quick to dispel all the documented cases when the use of the Ouija board is involved. They sound like the skeptics that they themselves argue with. They assume the paranormal activities does not exist and are quick to dispel the documented cases and claims. The demonic entity, a malevolent spirit, will focus on someone in the group with a lower psychic. The entity or spirit will answer basic questions in order to lull the user with a false sense of security. The entity may disguise itself as friendly and helpful. The element has been known to lie and be convincing, using the name users try to contact. Unless you ask the right questions to ask, you may not know the difference. The more the Ouija board is used, the greater the chances the entity or spirit can create major and potentially dangerous situations. Even the energy used to contact the spirits can energize the spirit, and again, you have no control over who responds. Wow, pretty good article right there.
No, you don't know. That's the thing. You can't control it. And how do you get rid of these demons? And then everybody's going to start saying, or these evil entities, I should say. Then everybody's going to say, oh, there's no God, there's no Jesus Christ. But I'm sorry, that's the best, that's the key of getting rid of these people. The same way I got rid of the Hat Man, the same way you stopped the sleep paralysis, the only way to get rid of these things are by saying Jesus Christ, who they hate so much. So obviously Jesus Christ,
the Son.
Obviously Jesus Christ does exist, because if he doesn't exist, these demons would not fear the name. Why do they fear the name? Why do they hate Jesus Christ for if he doesn't exist? I asked you that question and I answered it for you.
Of course he does exist. But sometimes it takes time for him to respond to certain things, which we don't know why.
I'll tell you why it takes time for him to respond. Because there's a reason for him doing that.
That's it. And we don't know
exactly the future. Rob, he knows the future. Keep that in mind. He knows the future.
And we don't, obviously.
So maybe it's for the good that everything happens. Maybe there's a reason why. There's a reason for everything. That's how I see it. Now, people will hate me for the comments I just made, but I don't care, because I'm going to say. All right. Okay. Robert, what do you want me to do about this posting? Is there anything else?
No, that's it for this posting. It's good. It's good enough. I mean, it's the brief history of Ouija. We went through it, that it became in the 1800s and 1873. They invented it, and then Parker Brothers took it in 1906. Yeah, so we that's it for this bit of information right there.
And the next one is, let me just adjust it. It's from HuffPost.
October 30th.
Popping up right now. It's on screen. Here you go.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at the article. October 30th, 2014. Do you see it?
Yeah.
But we're the 29th today. Isn't
What
that
is
weird?
it? Well, wait, is this, wait a second. Let me see, is that the right post here?
Well, what is I never.
Okay, that's it. That happens. We click on the wrong one. Okay. I don't
Okay.
know what that was about. Sorry, people.
No, but it said October 30th, and I look at my calendar here, and that's tomorrow. So we're in the future. Did we actually time travel?
Even this one's October 30th, no?
Yeah, did we actually time travel?
I don't know. I don't know. One will never know.
Are Ouija boards dangerous? As it's Halloween, it's the peak time of the year for people to dabble with Ouija. And ooh, like the same old hysteria, it's beginning to erupt. Anytime someone mentions the dreaded board, you can't move on spiritual forms for people dashing out panicky advice about not touching one with a barge pole, not being in the same room as one, or even advising people to not be in the same building as where a Ouija board is being used. These warnings are usually accompanied by traditional tales of a friend or a friend's friend of a friend's of next door's ex-barman who once knew someone through a third cousin who once tried a Ouija board and had their life completely ruined. Please, let's have some common sense around here. The hysteria surrounding the Ouija board is a mixture of Hollywood fabrication, urban legend, and religious paranoia. And well, they've done their job too. Let's not forget the origin of the Ouija board was first introduced by Hasbro as a board game. That's a board game. You know, those harmless fun things, and indeed from its introduction in the 1890s until well past the Second World War, it was universally considered that just a game. Alas, for Amazon, when they tried to introduce a pink Ouija board for girls a couple of years ago, the masses had got their ways in corners. Extensively researched by better people than me had turned up not one single documented case of someone being harmed that can be directly attributed to a Ouija board. And I find that this article right here was published by the Illuminati right here, Mario. That this is this info, and unfortunately we have to put this info right here. Do you agree?
Yeah, I was wondering what the hell. You know, here we are. We're like giving false news to the people, but
No,
it's a good thing.
exactly. But I have to put it. These people say that it's not true. That it's good and everything. But I see 99% of the things of the time it's bad. The 1% it's not bad. It's because they didn't do it properly. But it's never good. The Ouija board.
Anyhow, we move on to one that's real because I can't look at fake stuff if this is fake.
No, but we have to point it out that there's disinfo. It depends how many times you played the Ouija board.
I wouldn't play with it with a 9-yard stick. There you go, a 9-yard stick. I wouldn't touch a Ouija board.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it just goes to talk about the Ouija board, how you use it and everything. Like I said before, we're not gonna get into it and that because it's just ludicrous. But yeah, so this article says that it's not true. Nothing, no harm comes from it. But
we're not teachers. We're not teachers. We're not here to teach you how to play games.
The self-styled demonologist Ed and Lorraine Warren once radically ludicrously stated that the Ouija boards are as dangerous as drugs. Well, they wouldn't they? Half of their income and fame disappears at a stroke if people are educated on their Ouija board paranoia. And paranoia as it is, it spreads far and wide. Don't forget though, the major Illuminati movie, the biggest horror movie of them all, The Exorcist. How did she get possessed? By using the Ouija board. And you know the Illuminati do put up their findings and their workings in plain sight. So that should give you an idea of what it is. And they put it out there because they want people, it's not true. Or, okay, let's see if it's true or not. Let's play a Ouija board, you know? I'm not saying after one time it's going to happen, but after a few times. All right, now getting on to the Illuminati rituals, satanic rituals, which is another part of our show. And this is by my good mentor and good buddy, the one and the only Fritz Springmeier, the Feast of the Beast. Have you ever heard of that, Mario?
No, I haven't, but we are getting Fritz on soon.
Yes, coming on in a couple of weeks.
Something to look forward to.
Exactly, God willing. The article is written for general readers who have a general interest in the Illuminati. Unless I've written on this topic and forgot what I wrote, I believe this is the first time we have an article, the first time an article has been written on this topic. The Illuminati secrecy has been so powerful that I believe this is the first time it has been pierced with this information. I believe this information may assist in understanding what major secret policy changes may occur. Okay. In my investigations into the Illuminati, I was provided information from several ex-Illuminati members about an important ritual called the Feast of the Beast. I have made references to this ritual occasionally, and this attracted some attention by some of my readers. I've been asked to write about this ritual over the years, and I always found more pressing things to do. My various sources gave the testimony independent of each other, and this led me to conclude that this ceremony did indeed exist. Now, if you can go down, we'll talk a bit about the Feast of the Beast, Mario, because I know you are dying to know what the Feast of the Beast is.
Yeah, I'm dying to know.
All
It
right.
says it right there, the first couple of words.
Ritual is very important to Satan and to the Illuminati. There are a number of reasons for this. One, it provides an excuse to carry out horrible things without having to feel guilt. A person can explain away things, it was time for that, or that's the way things are done. Permit me to quote some recognized occult that are accessible to the public. This book will help document some of the meanings of the Feast of the Beast. All right, are you able to go down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it says with the council, the Feast of the Beast is associated with the number 28, as well as its reverse 82. As well as the combination 7 times 4. One of the best books on providing the occult words meaning of numbers is Aleister Crowley's books, Gematria and Tables of Correspondence. On page 58 of Crowley's table is correspondence under the order of Quailfalf. We're informed that 28 is the number of the beast, that is Bahimorin, which is bestial. Crowley also teaches that number 28 is associated with the unicorn, the peacock and the rainbow, artificial glass, and Chalan Sunday, which suggests clouds. Astrology in general, a number of perfume starts as rhubarb and stamonia, and a 3-headed beast, heads of a bull, man and ram. So that's what they used for the Feast of the Beast.
It's interesting.
It is. And it says that Kabbalist number 28 is a very powerful number. And number 7 is perfection.
And 9/11?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if there's other stuff that's interesting about this Beast of the Feast.
Yeah, they do this at the Bilderbergs. The first Bilderberg meeting began in 1954. There was the time the various factions of the world power signed into a pact of cooperation. It was a secret turning point where a genuine one world power came into being. The Priority of Sion, the secret order behind the Knights Templar, began to disseminate information about itself. The United States shifted from a military where conventional weapons were emphasized to organizing itself around nuclear weapons. The U.S. also pushed atomic weapons energy worldwide with the Atoms for Peace program. A number of occultists have previously predicted this worldwide shift towards nuclear energy. At the Feast of the Beast, a beautiful bride is trained and presented to Satan, and she may very well be a virgin. This ceremony is mostly likely held at a castle or palace, and is also likely to be held over in Europe for the principal ceremony. Lesser ceremonies may be held here in the States. Witnesses claim that Satan appears and interacts with his human leadership. He provides them with detailed instructions for what he wants done under the next Feast of the Beast. In other words, he provides the top Illuminati hierarchy with the future long-range plans. The actual Feast of the Beast is a year-long ceremony. However, there is a small ceremony performed before the autumn equinox, approximately around the 5th to the 7th of September, which is a marriage to the beast. That it can also be called the Feast of the Beast. It is a micronism of the large ceremony, or perhaps one could call it an imitation. It was also claimed by one informant that the Feast of Beasts in 1982 was the 13th from 1618, and the Feast of Beasts in 1618 had been called a significant event. The Illuminati have certain people assigned to focus on spiritual power. Some readers may remember that I have explained that the Collins family, which is one of the 13 bloodline families, was brought into the hierarchy because they were so powerful magically. The Rothschilds have financial power, but the Collins family have been very powerful witches. Women are spiritually very powerful in the Illuminati, and some women in the Illuminati are very important in planning and making the ritual successful. Yeah, so.
But I heard the Beast where he put a woman on isn't that where he put a woman on a kind of like an altar and they cut her up and get blood out of her? Isn't that it?
Hey?
Wasn't that it? Where they put a woman on top of like some kind of an altar on the bed in front of everybody and they cut her up. Isn't that it? Because I remember seeing that on the show once.
Okay, I'm not too sure about that. That could be, if they cut up, that could be the satanic one, the black mass. I'm not too sure about that, you know, because I don't like participate in these things. But yeah, I mean, there's different ones. The Illuminati, one of them, they all use virgins and they de-virginize them, and so some of them they cut them up because they need the blood, because Satan needs the blood of the virgin, and he gets it and he empowers the evil Illuminati into giving them their powers, but they need blood all the time. So it's some kind of sick game like this.
Well, that's what it is, and that's supposed to be what? New Age, and we're supposed to accept that.
New Age, well, it's the old age, exactly. I mean, I don't plan on attempting. I don't plan on attending any Feast of the Beasts.
No, me neither. Sorry, people, hate me, like me, whatever, but I am not doing any of this.
We have enough problems as it is.
Next one. Next.
Dungeon Vatican's rituals. At Satan's altar was how Joanna, born into the Illuminati, spent her childhood days. Very interesting article right here. Joanna spent time as a child in the dungeons of the Vatican, attending rituals of torture at the altar of the devil. Joanna's story follows the same satanic pattern as the incredible story recently told by former Illuminati Slavi, born into the Illuminati and who witnessed a 4-year-old boy's sacrifice at her underground Vatican induction ceremony at the age of 12. Now Joanna of Florida comes forward saying she was a bloodliner, born into the French house of the Illuminati. Her exact placement in the worldwide cult began in the spiritual sector. I was born into a multi-generational family that one side was Masonic and on the other Illuminati. And that's folks or people that want to know what the Freemasons are. Freemason, Masonic. My family was born of the DAR, referred to as Blue Bloods, and says Joanna, as an extended conversation from her Florida home, having her family rid of the Illuminati influences. Most of my childhood was spent in training and grooming, as I attended rituals in the Vatican. I was used as an oracle. The militia was almost involved with the training, connected to a Masonic group, and my childhood was almost all training from the Illuminati and intense military type training for the militia. And I'm not going to read all of this because, you know, but it goes on to talk about what they did, brainwashing techniques, and what they did, torture, and it was a new age requirement to do this. And she was being tortured day and night in the dungeon of the Vatican. It's very deceptive,
evil
folks.
Vatican. The evil Vatican.
But I always thought the Vatican was good.
Because we've been lied to, just like many of us still think the President of the United States is good.
He's just a puppet. I call the New World Order the Fourth Reich, where anti-Semitic thinking becomes acceptable under the guise of saving people in the Middle East. People will realize, looking at the Jewish power leaders, that conspiracies point to naught, realizing that not only are they non-practicing Jews, but they are also not the puppet masters. Instead, one needs to look at the old Church of Rome, which becomes a so-called Catholic struggle with ancient power bloodlines such as the Borgias and the Dominicas. The protocols of Zion also blamed on the Jews, but in actuality, this is the Vatican core, which includes the Jesuits. And don't forget, folks, Pope Francis is a Jesuit. This makes you wonder, you know?
Pope Francis is evil.
But he seems like a good guy, though.
Well, because looks can be deceiving.
I suppose so. And this article, I'm not going to go read it because it's not going to read her life story, but it goes on to say she left the Illuminati, so she had to get deprogrammed. So if you folks want to know about like how the Illuminati plans to destroy America from within, and that's what I think they're doing right now, you could read this article, and it's going to be up in the links later on.
I mean, or you could pause now and just read whatever, you know, looks interesting, and that's it. You know? American Shriners, Freemasons, and Engineer. Look at that. Wow.
I know.
Corpse of Hell.
The Engineer's Corpse of Hell. People wonder, what is that about? The Freemasons. Why?
Freemasons. They're not supposed to be good.
No.
Anyhow, the next information, it's news.
It's our good friend Lynn Lee has. Good friend of ours, right, Mario?
Yeah, very good friend.
Meant to get on our show, but unfortunately she's busy right now. Hopefully one day we're going to get her. Satanic ritual taking over USA. Someone you know has probably done this unaware. You will be shocked. We never did this in the summertime. And we're talking about the only thing, the ice bucket challenge that was so popular in the summer.
Yeah, which I never did, which is ridiculous.
No. It just seems just about everyone is doing the ice bucket challenge. In fact, I can't recall a day in the past few weeks where I haven't seen someone Facebook page about it. Even USA Today reported that grandfather dumped a large bucket of ice on an infant. Warning, you may have been baptized in the name of Satan, unaware satanic ritual going viral in USA. And don't forget, there was something with the ice bucket that tied in ISIS. Do you remember that, Mario?
Mm-hmm.
And what's going on now? ISIS is everywhere. I'm glad I didn't do this thing. I just found it ridiculous, and I had a feeling that there was something behind it. And it talks about and I think we had talked about a 10-month infant was doused with ice water with a grandfather, the ice bucket, which is insane. And then after this, if you could go down a bit, it talks about that after researching the article further states the enemy has come into America through the back doors, what seems like a good work and a good cause, but it's only on the surface. As you dig deeper and take the time to research, you will see what I'm saying. This is a type of sacrifice. It is a type of satanic sacrifice. All the human embryos are being sacrificed. A type of cannibalism is occurring because this crazy phenomenon is causing people to give into this other fun and neglecting other goods and noble foundations that have been better causes and more moral. This is definitely a spirit behind the causes, and it's not the Holy Spirit. God would never endorse such a fundraiser that supports using human embryos for research. It is an abortion, plain and simple. To all those who have already participated, there's no condemnation, but there's a plea from the heart of God to pray, seek His face, and ask for forgiveness. I really didn't want to post anything for or against this challenge. And I remember seeing that this ice bucket challenge there's also a connection with ISIS.
Yeah, I know. There was so much that we posted.
And back then, ISIS was not as known as now, you know. So it just makes you wonder, you know, did we actually call upon ISIS to come on?
One will never know. Only the future can tell.
Exactly, but I'm glad that this ice bucket challenge is over now because unfortunately it's fall and winter coming. So, you know, look, the Illuminati inspired ice challenge, purifying America. That's what they wanted to do.
their way with ice. Like, why would you want to purify yourself with ice?
Exactly.
Come on.
We should have done a show about this back then. I didn't think of it. We didn't think of it, eh?
No, but you know what's the problem with that?
What?
People would want us to do it, and I'm not doing no stupid ice bucket.
Yeah, exactly. We never. That's why we kept very quiet about it, because they would have forced us trying to do it, and then we don't do it. We look like complete jerks if we didn't do it.
Anyways, the next.
For a good cause, and it's not a good cause. All right. Illuminati terrorist warns Satanic Church child sacrifice. Rumors are circling that tonight, June 20th, last June, to tomorrow, an Illuminati human sacrifice will take place in Denver, Colorado. Evidence for this claims is derived from the attempt kidnapping of a toddler last year and various reports about the weekend's events. The human sacrifice is reportedly scheduled because of summer solstice, a holy day in the Church of Satan, reported before it's news.com. Yeah, and it talks about a child sacrifice that happened and the satanic rituals in Old Navarre, a former whorehouse and casino located at 1727 Terramount Pike, Denver, Colorado, from the Ship's Tavern at the Brown Palace Hotel in downtown Denver. According to the reports, these members of the secret council entered the Navarre building, which then leads into a tunnel. Allegedly, these rituals require an infant to be killed and sacrificed to the devil. The blood is then said to be drank by the members. Another stunning claims towards these shadow government meetings is that during pre-ritual parties, these members are known to engage in sexual acts with children. Oh God. God help us all. A lot of these events are described in great detail by Church of Satan's head, but he's now dead, Anton LaVey. But Anton LaVey is dead, but his son, Jess Anthony LaVey. He is now a minister who helps children escape the occult and works on healing and restoring their lives. Anthony himself said he experienced torture at the hands of these men when he refused to become the next leader of the church. He didn't claim, just 10 years old, his own father castrated him. No matter, is it possible Anton LaVey castrated his own son?
The guy is a sick individual.
That's what happened, eh? You heard about when Anton LaVey was dying in his deathbed? He knew where he was going. And he said, oh my God, everything that I said, I've been wrong all my life. I've been all wrong all my life. What did I do? What did I do? Because I think he sensed he was going to hell. And at the last second, he knew that he had been wrong. You could check this out on YouTube. Just YouTube Anton LaVey's deathbed confessions. As he was dying, he knew that everything that he did in his life was wrong, supporting Satan.
And making many followers support Satan.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, so that's it. I don't want to read more about this hoary, guttery stuff over here, you know, but we get the information right here, what it talks about. But I tell you, just horrible people.
They are. They're very horrible, and people don't believe it. You know, they think, who the hell is that? You know.
Yeah, and speaking of it, look, the Freemason right there. You see where the G is on the left picture? The G with the compass. Right in the middle, that's the Freemason sign. So people that ask, oh, the Freemasons are good. Oh, we're good. Yeah, right. The lower levels of the Freemasons don't know at a 32 degree what the hell goes on.
Yeah, look at the eye, Rob. Look at that eye right on top. That same eye that appears.
That appears on the $1 bill. The Illuminati. The Freemasons work for the Illuminati. Speaking of Illuminati, right here, who is the Illuminati? The enlightened ones. Known to many as the forefathers of the NWO, New World Order, and inner circles of Freemasons, their conspiracy theories go on for controlling the world. To begin with, an alien race known as the reptilians. There are many crazy theories regarding the origins, but one fact cannot be denied. Their message is embedded in mass media, on mainstream media, such as music videos and news channels like CNN. Not only the media, but their symbols was seen in the Starbucks painting as shown below, taken by me. Now, Mario, I know you don't like CNN.
Or Starbucks.
Well, I don't like the comment there. It's very strong. The truth is, the Illuminati's agenda is far more advanced than our current thinking capability. These folks, especially Adam Weishaupt, all the way to George Bush Sr., has been huge followers of the Masonic rituals, like the worship of the owl, full moon rituals of Amon-Ra, and practices of the Zohar. Zohar is much more detailed and mystical part of the Kabbalah. The rituals inside the Zohar, black magic, that gives them techniques, enables a person to not only improve his or her environment, but it gives them the means to control others. The fact of controlling through Masonic rituals can be felt in Washington, D.C. Because as you know, Washington, D.C. is mapped out into a pentagram.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mistaken, right, Mario?
Yeah, and why would they do it? Like, don't ask that question.
Exactly, we don't need to know because the inside diagram, the way everything's positioned, it forms a pentagram. It gives them power of Washington, D.C. right here. And the lost symbol, how the Freemasons conduct their initial rituals, are sleeping in a coffin and drinking wine from a skull. Mario, Freemasons they sleep in a coffin and drink wine from a skull.
Now that's supposed to be good, the Freemasons. Come on, they're not good. You know? That's disgusting. That's very disturbing.
Exactly. Exactly, and you know the owl is very important. Yeah, just over here. Yeah, just because the owl is very important at the Bohemian Grove. That's another place which we should do a show on. Probably next year we'll do a show on the Bohemian Grove if we're still around.
If they don't take away our show from us because we're to the point and they don't want us to get
They're
to the
trying to take
point.
our show away. They're trying to take everything away from us by many different factors, you know. Yeah, and look, right there's the map right there, and Washington Monument is a representative of Amn-Ra and respective to Ra, because the symbol of Amn-Ra is a circle within a circle, and notice the monument. In the history of the Mayan, they were actually capable of contacting beings of the fourth and fifth dimension, through which they received valuable information on rituals and power of Masonic symbolism. Through the studies of Mayan history, which are only available to the Illuminati hierarchy, showing the Earth can only withstand 22 billion people, after which the pressure will be so great that volcanoes will erupt. The main agenda of the Illuminati is to keep the populace under control, to keep it under 7 billion people. We may think that killing people is barbaric, but because we are so limited in our thinking, we do not understand why killing is a necessity. Even the 9/11 attacks, which were conducted by Illuminati, were done in a ritualistic manner to sacrifice the energy to the fifth dimension, the highest spiritual dimension of them all. But you know what I don't get? If the Illuminati did not want 7 billion people to be born or whatever there is, why didn't they stop it to begin with?
Because they don't have full control of everything.
Because, yeah, and now they want to depopulate us by Ebola, by all kinds of vaccines, you know, wars, you know. I think that they're in way over their heads. I'm thinking.
Yeah, but they will be stopped one day. They can only run so much.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, the Bible does prophesize that billions will die at the end times, which does collaborate with the Illuminati. So something will happen, folks. Why is it that the Freemasons use 33rd degree of the highest degree? Well, mathematically, 33rd degree is the most important part of forming a Masonic pyramid. That's what I was telling some people that don't believe, that tell me, oh, what are you talking about? You know, I told them, lower levels don't know what the heck's going on. They think it's a joke what goes on 33rd degree. Because people that are in the lower levels of the Freemasons don't know what the hell's going on.
No, they don't. They don't know what the hell. They think it's all good, and when it's not all good, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I don't trust people that involve themselves in Freemasonry or stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. All right, and this one.
Yes.
And right here, Satanism, Illuminati, Nephilims. There are clone factories in Washington, D.C., Moscow, Russia, and other countries. Just something extra on Nephilim, demons in the flesh. Example, demons living as people and not possessing a human being, but living a human being like in the days preceding Noah's Ark and the flood. These demons are now just manifesting in their human forms to fornicate with women, to fertilize eggs and create embryos that develop into a full-fledged fetus and baby. But they deposit the demon spirits into. These hybrids are given to a human spirit by God, as God is not bound to breathe a spirit into a Nephilim mixed seed baby. So the result is a full-fledged being that is pure evil, no human spirit of love, boldness, and sound mind is breathed into the baby by God. Not by God, but by Satan and his fallen angels, are climbing into the fetuses, being farmed into clone factories around the world in secret, and then placed into families in the deceptive way of their consent, so that they can get legit IDs and passports to be able to take positions of power and run for elections. Doesn't that just sound like Obama taking power?
Yeah.
There below are Nephilim, hybrid lizard peoples, fallen angel demons in the flesh. If you look into their eyes, you'll notice something different about their eyes. Nephilims are pure evil and are intent on destroying mankind. God's judgment for mankind to come to Christ. And then the high priest will lead mankind to worldwide prayer, where we will vaporize all the Nephilims and the demons with a powerful prayer. But we have to come to Christ first and be praying and fasting and living holy lives to provide enough power from the Holy Spirit so our prayers are strong enough to vaporize the Nephilim. Now the reason is that these people, like the black-eyed kids, what do you think that is? I'm sure that is Nephilim.
Yeah, the Nephilim of the future. Well, for now, because, you know, we can't see giants, we'll say, like, what the hell is that?
They've just been they've just been modified and modified. They're trying to get them, because if we see giants, we'll know that they're, what the heck, we'll say that they're not normal, you know. So they're trying to make it as they're trying to make them as humanly possible as it is. And do not forget, folks, I know that people that are watching our show, you are usual viewers, do know this, but I'm talking the worldwide transmission because we have new viewers all the time. People in our government, in the royalty, they're not human. If you notice, George Bush, Bill Clinton, the Queen, they all look the same. The Pope, they all have similar features, one way or another. Look it up and you'll see. That's because they're all inbreeding.
They probably have the correct DNA also. That's why they're living so long. They alter their own DNA. Exactly.
Like you never hear of them, I don't know, being sick. Sometimes you might hear of it, but it's very rare. Like that no good Henry Kissinger, CEO of the Illuminati.
Yes, that's it for this article, eh, Rob?
It is, yeah. It is. For that information, it is, because we had a lot of information tonight for you folks out there, because it's been in popular demand for us to do a show on Illuminati rituals, but the rituals can go on and on. There's so many depravity that goes on.
It all starts off with
the Bohemian Grove.
With no, Rob, not that. I'm talking about it all starts with a Ouija board.
Well, yeah, that is the basic thing, and then it leads into
the next one. Right there, you said it, the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, which is one very sick ritual that happens in July. Every July, the last 2 weeks of July, the Bohemian Grove, and Richard Nixon was there. Like secrets inside the Bohemian Grove, that is another Illuminati ritual. And as we were able to go down, Richard Nixon, Bohemian Grove is gayest place. I know he said it, that there's all kinds of gay stuff that happens there. Gay is gayest place on the planet.
There's videos.
Videos right there. This will piss off the entire world. Bohemian Grove, satanic rituals. There's a lot that goes on there, and as you know, in 2000, Alex Jones broke into the Bohemian Grove.
David Icke
talks about the Bohemian Grove, and it just goes on, and right here, occult activities of the elite Bohemian Grove in Northern California exposed. Alex Jones tells his story. Last July, documentary filmmaker Alex Jones infiltrated Bohemian Grove, becoming the first person to capture the bizarre occult activities of the all-male elite membership on videotape. This footage recently aired in England, Ireland, and Scotland on UK. There's a UK channel 4 as part 3 of a 4-part special, The Secret Rulers of the World. Alex Jones was inside the 2,700 acres elite compound for over 5 hours and stated, "Thank God I caught the whole thing on videotape because no one would believe me if I hadn't. I had trouble believing what I witnessed with my own 2 eyes. It was actually bizarre." I don't know, they get into black robes and they pray to a giant 40-stone owl, and someone was being sacrificed. And these are people within the government. Presidents of the United States and past presidents are there. Senators are there. People in world governments, military, people in the press. Just about anybody that's anybody's in there.
We got a question, Rob. Rob posted, what is the difference between Bohemian Grove and the Burning Man festivals?
I've never heard of the Burning Man festivals. Have you, Mario?
No, unless if it's talking about the Beast Festival there.
Yeah, I don't know. I never heard of the Burning Man festival is. Sorry, I can't answer that. I wish I could, but the Bohemian Grove, we do know what that is. And yeah, and even Alex Jones himself couldn't believe it, what it was. He could not believe what the Bohemian Grove, that it existed and what it entailed. I remember when I studied that a couple of years ago, and I'm like, wow. I was angry, Jones said, that in over 50 years there have been only a handful of news stories written on Bohemian Grove, and that these stories commonly reported on the rumors engaged in whitewash, thus hiding a giant story in plain view. You know what I think we should do? I think next vacation in July we should try and infiltrate the Bohemian Grove. MNR infiltrates.
Yeah, that would be cool. If only if we can go there, it would be very cool.
But now that Alex Jones has done it, I don't know. We're knowing ourselves, you know. So I don't know. People know who we are, so it'd be kind of hard for us to go in there. We should have went before the show.
Rob, you'd be surprised who would know us. There's a lot of people out there who do know us, who know what we're all about, and they, you know, we're no secret, man.
Well, what?
We're no secret.
No, exactly. Especially nowadays. I mean, Google's becoming more and more persuasive every day with Google Earth and Google Map and Google Street and everything, you know.
I'm just going down. I don't know if you want to continue. No, I'm
not going to go down over all of this information about the Bohemian Club and the Bohemian Grove. I mean, this for people to read if they want to find out what it's all about. They can see the links, but I've said it all there is. It's just another thing that they do. They go in the woods, and that's where Henry Kissinger dresses up as a woman and does terrible stuff. And finally, is this the last article?
Yes, it is. It's the final one of the night.
All right.
I believe we pulled through.
I don't know how I did it. I just hope I'll be able to survive the night. Illuminati Council of 13, Human Sacrifice, Denver, Colorado, June 13 of 2013. They had Illuminati Sacrifice right there. The Council of 13. An update, because right there it talks about Ebola. Okay. Illuminati Council of 13, Human Sacrifices. Bush Satanic Rituals and Human Sacrifices. Warnings, kidnapping of new infants between June 17, 2013. Checks all aircraft for any infant, asks for birth certificate from parents. And it just talks about the same article that it said before, that there was child sacrifice in Old Navajo, and the group is known as the Illuminati Bankers, the U.S. shadow government leaders who dictate U.S. world policy. They are known as Satanists. George H.W. Bush, Leonard Millman, Larry Milsman, Henry Kissinger, Mayor Rothschild, David Rockefeller, Grace and Company Answer, Mel Santry, the head of Rabbi of Israel, and others unnamed. They held their pre-ritual parties where they have sex with children. Many of them are pre-rituals were held at Leonard and Eleanor Milliman's house. Anton LaVey's son was castrated by George H.W. Bush and Leonard Millman. And in the other article, it said it was by his own father. So it makes you wonder.
Anyways, whatever, it looks like he did get castrated. By who? We don't know.
Exactly, if it's his father or by George Bush. They have been seen in the Freemason temples across the Colorado state capitol, directly east of the governor's mansion. A report of the events was given by the agent Mark Hosta of the FBI Denver field office on November 20, 2011, under 18 U.S.B. federal reporting crimes. Yeah, and it just goes on to talk about right here a yearly feast that was celebrated by the Romans who worshipped the god Saturn. So they were getting to Saturnalia right there, December 17th to 24.
Christmas.
Yeah, Saturnalia Christmas, which in effect was a pagan holiday that was transformed to Christmas a couple of years ago, well, many years ago.
And Halloween is also a pagan holiday. People, well, a pagan feast. People don't realize that, but Halloween.
Halloween, or no, Hallows Eve. So yeah, you're right. Everything's a lie. Even Christmas, when you think of it, we people celebrate for the good meaning, but in reality, the Christmas tree and the gifts, it's all pagan.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I could go on and on with that, but I'm not gonna get into it because I don't want to get upset over here. I'm already upset as it is, you know.
Is that it, Rob, or do you want me to just scroll down?
Scroll down. I don't think there's much more. Look, there's the people. There's Henry Kissinger and Illuminati sacrifices in the 60s, and it just goes on and on. But it's just right there's the whistleblower that told the people what the heck's going on. Larry Misdell, evil George W. Bush. And it talks about the other Council of 13, all the members.
Stuff we've done our shows in the past on. People want, you can always go online.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the 13 bloodlines. That's like one of my specialties, right, Mario?
Mm-hmm.
I've done so much research in the past.
And there it is. There's the Freemason symbol that everybody says it's okay, but it's not okay. Anybody out there it is.
Exactly. Really amazing, folks. Yeah, that's it for this show. I think. Wait, the Denver's New World Airport, right there. You know the Denver Airport. Is Illuminati banker George H. Bush a fallen angel cast out of heaven to earth? Yeah, and look, these are all articles that people, if they want to go look into, they could click on it because there's radio shows, there's information that people can look into, and that we could even write to the Rockefellers, Mario. Look, we should write to the Rockefellers.
We tell them to come on our show, but that's it for that, eh, Rob?
Yes. And
I guess that more or less.
Yeah, that sums up the show. I mean, we had a long show tonight. I mean, because of the problems I couldn't get on Google. Hopefully next time I go on a show, there won't be no problems like that. But what can you do? It's la vie. It's life.
But thanks for hanging in there, people, because you made it happen. Also because you hung in there, and thank you for appearing in Chitango. And
exactly, we love you guys for the show, because without you guys, we'd be talking to ourselves. And we do that often as it is, so it's good that we don't always do that. And we'll see you next time on the next MnRTV live show.
That's if Google permitting. That's if Google permitting. But anyways, that's where we're marching on out of here. Have a good night, people, and see you next week. Bye there.
Over and out.